All right, so this is session 1 of 4 for Masks, a New Generation. I often write this as Masks, the Next Generation. That is not how it is written, as I have been corrected by that by Brendan himself. So I consider that a mark right there. Anyway, this is the Gauntlet Hangouts. We're a monthly, we're an online community of gamers. Each month we have about 100 plus games. You can find out more about that at gauntlet-rpg.com. If you want to check that out, we have a Patreon for that. And if you're interested in AP videos, if you check this out and you like this, go ahead and check out and subscribe my channel. We do about 3 different games each week, so you can see that. We are using Google Hangouts, and we use a Google spreadsheet for Character Keeper in this game, and also an online roller. So you're not going to see that on screen. You may hear us referring to that during the course of this session. So this is Masks, and this is a teen superhero game, a young superhero game about these heroes in a world with a long history of superheroes, like the DC universe, like the Marvel universe. And I think the best reference is probably Astro City, and the way that particular comic book has that long building of characters. But think Young Justice, think Avengers Academy, think Valiant High. And I would argue that the most recent Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man Homecoming, is one long one-on-one mask session being run. It certainly feels like that. So we are going to aim for playing out superhero tropes and exploring the lives of these characters in Halcyon City, which is the main focal point city of the game. And our tone is definitely heroic. There will be, challenges. There will be grimness as we kind of look at the characters' pain from time to time, and we look at their relations from time to time. But that's all something that's on the table. It is a superheroic comic book world, so we're dealing a little bit with those tropes. And obviously, there are different kinds of levels of that. I think we're really looking at 4 color. And Jesse, you were talking about doing something that references Kirby, and you wanted to kind of poll the table, talk with the group about that.
It's a tone that can be kind of over the top and like a little ridiculous. Not everyone wants to lean into that sometimes. So not that it can't necessarily mesh with a more serious kind of drama also, but just if people are like, I don't know if I quite want to lean that hard into the silly, but also sorry.
Well, no, I was going to say, does anyone have strong feelings either way on that?
I'm all for camp. That big bird I mentioned is named Rock of Ages, but ROC. So I am all for the cheesy and the super into comic tropes.
Larry, Michael, what do you guys think?
I don't have a particularly strong feeling one way or the other. Okay. Yeah, I'm flexible.
Okay, Michael?
I guess I'm a big fan of all the Kirby stuff. I guess it depends on how it's played. As long as it's played, if you take maybe ridiculous, maybe character concepts that might seem a little goofy, but if you play them completely straightforward and earnestly, that makes it easy for me to buy into a little the ridiculousness, as long as as it's done in that way.
Okay.
For sure. Kirby is nothing if not earnest.
Yeah. Well, let's do this. Let's say that's on the table, and let's make sure we check in on that. And certainly, one of the things that we have is we have the ability to kind of check in with the table. We can X card tone things. We've got some options about that. Now, I believe that all of you. Well, let me ask you this: Has everyone used the X card at the table before? Is everyone familiar with that? Okay. So recognize that is on the table for material, for content, for tone. Those are all things that are on the table. Now, this is a video chat, so sometimes it may be hard. This is a signal or sending a message in the chat to me. We'll edit past something. I may ask you to frame it so I know exactly what we're editing past. I use the X card because it's a very lightweight, easy tool for these games. There are a lot more safety tools out there that are sharper and more in depth, but this is the one that we are working with for this. So our plan is I want to talk with everybody about what playbooks they're doing. And then we're going to do kind of character creation. We'll go through that process, have everybody do their picks. We'll get through the asking about, when you first met, and we'll establish influence and relationships, get that set. Then we'll take a break. We'll come back, maybe establish a little bit more about where we're at. And then we're going to play out. And of course, because this is a little bit shorter session, I tend to think of like these 2.5 hour sessions that 2 of them constitute a good solid session. So one of the things was we'll go till we hit a high point, and we'll probably not do end of session moves at the end of this session, but we will do it at the end of next session. So that is all. And I think everyone's familiar. Everyone's familiar with PBTA and all that. Just checking in. So we're all good. Let me start with you, Jesse, since that is now on the table. What playbook do you think you want to do with that?
So I think I've decided. I think I want to go with the Doomed, and kind of do like a take on Mr. Miracle as the Doomed.
Okay.
Sort of like teenage Mr. Miracle. So the 2-sentence concept is, chased from his home on another planet in another dimension, in an attempt to escape his doom that he can't ever really get away from.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, that works for me.
Something like that.
Sure. Who else knows what they're doing?
I had spent.
Okay.
Yeah, I had spent some time thinking about the Transformed, and started getting into that. I've been fleshing something out with that. I actually started putting something already into the character keeper. I apologize if I jumped the gun.
No, you should absolutely do that. Yeah, to kind of get yourself set and thinking about that. So Transformed sounds good. Michael, Hannah, either of you? I mean, there's so many good choices.
I've been like leaning kind of maybe Nova, because I have a horrible pun for it, so that very much affects my character choice. Like realizing it, like the Janice I played was actually a villain NPC in another game, and then I was like, I want to play this.
Okay.
So
you're leaning towards Nova?
I think Nova, maybe Star.
Okay. Star's good too. Star says some interesting things about the world.
So we have a Doomed, a Nova, and a Transformed. And at least one of them is from another place besides Earth.
Yes.
Just one of them. Right now I'm just, whenever I start these games, I usually start with like my Pinterest start collection, which concepts can I use the coolest images for. So I'm doing that right now. Let's see. There's a potential for a bull. The potential for we already have a Nova, right?
Yep.
Okay. So this would have to be an outsider, but I think that's really more of a...
If you want to play Nova, go for it. I have like other character concepts I can fall back on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, let me... how about I do this? I don't know if this is going to be possible, but what if I started sending the links for the 3 top images I've got right now?
Okay.
I know this is, I don't know, I might be breaking protocol a little bit here.
That is not kind of like breaking protocol. You want to check in? We can help you.
So which one is this? This is going to be the potential bull. And this might be a little playing a little bit against bull type because bulls are usually big, and this character is not. Where's my chat window? Oh, there it is. Okay, let me try that again. Okay, there's the first one. And like a martial arts sort of thing going on. Potential Nova / outsider. This could fit either one. Here's the second image if we want like. So the first image was kind of for the viewers at home. The first image was basically a teenage martial artist who was shattering a boulder with his bare hands, kind of like a young Iron Fist sort of thing. The second one's kind of a teenage female dragon thing going on. The third one's going to be, this will be a potential Nova.
I am all for that dragon. Let me tell you.
Yeah, that might be the most eye-catching image. So going purely by that might be the winner. But I'll write up the fourth one. This will be the last one. Potential Nova, kind of like a young cosmic hero looking thing. It's a cool design, but also, maybe just a little. Its biggest weakness might be a little too standard. So,
I'm all for both of those.
Yeah. Now, maybe if I play, let's see. I'm just looking at the list. My one caution against playing an outsider is that it sounds like the Kirby-esque character, Larry's character, seems very much outsidery to me, anyway. So.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I kind of
Mhm.
stole some outsider elements, at least story wise, if not mechanically.
Sure, and there's always going to be some overlap between these concepts, right? So let's see. Now I'm just looking over. I'm just looking over the Nova versus the outsider to see what might be more appropriate for like the daughter of a dragon, like a literal dragon.
And yeah, an outsider can certainly work with that as it's a different kind of from another place.
Right. By the way, I'm just looking over the outsider playbook now, and one of the potential moves is labeled Kirby Craft, where you just have like an awesome alien vehicle, and actually that's actually something that calls out Kirby by name, which I thought was neat.
Yep.
So I think I want to play someone from Earth. So Well, I'll tell you what. If I do the Nova, Hannah, what would you run?
I would play anything. Like I'm considering Legacy is fun, or I think maybe like Legacy or Protege, because that just allows me to like just kind of go all in on whatever that is available. So, like, not Poke Magicians, but definitely something close. Maybe Protege. Or Star, because Star is another fun one.
Just keeps getting a bigger list there.
No! It's getting worse and worse.
But we do think, I mean, are you leaning towards Nova or Outsider there? I think Bull you've mentioned off the table now. You haven't mentioned that for a bit.
Hey, real quick, is anyone else seeing Lowell's video?
No, my screen share thing on Google Hangouts decided to remove my video from this. So I will try and fix that at the break. So
Okay.
You will see my icon here for a while. I'm going to apologize.
That's fine.
It's been a long time since that has happened.
Yeah, like I would probably just go Star, because Star is pretty close to it. I mean, everything else I can do. So I'm a blast for whatever.
All right, Michael, what are you thinking?
All right, I'll go with the I'll do up a Nova with. Yeah,
Okay.
let's go with Nova.
So what we'll have you do is go through, work through the playbook, look at the names and the look, and then go ahead and look at your abilities. And then if you have any questions or you want to talk about how you want to present those, you can go ahead and do that. And then you can set your labels. And what I'll have everybody do is get up to having done their backstory questions and their move picks. Then we'll do introductions. And then we'll do the when we first came together questions.
Just to be clear, so on the labels, the starting label is the number that's in white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love that one of the costume choices is focus tested costume. Just want you to know I am 100% on my bullshit already. I'm so happy with this. Oops, that is wrapping, so it's everyone's sheets just got a little longer.
That's expected because all of that's gonna fill in. So don't worry about that.
Should I be putting the stuff about my Doom and Nemesis in the moves category on the character keeper, or should I just have separate notes and I'll tell you what they are?
Typically, we put that under abilities, powers, other. Make
Great.
some notes of that there.
Mm-hmm. Great, I will do that.
Okay, so I figured out everything but audience and backstory.
Okay.
And I'm trying to figure out which one I should go for first.
Mm-hmm. I really like how that audience stuff works.
Oh yeah, it's a blast. Oh my god, I can't believe how well one of these fits. You're a firebrand. Fire powers to more than one extent. Alright, 2 advantages. Would anyone be opposed if the star was also a streamer?
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I've seen it done so many times, so I wasn't sure. All right. I love it, though. And 2 demands. So for the backstory, do you mind if like we make up villains or heroes as they fit the thing?
No, that's absolutely what we should be doing. We'll
Okay.
get NPCs and characters on the table during that
Awesome.
production process.
Who doesn't support this? Who does? That's a good question.
Spending way too much time trying to think of a name.
Names are hard.
What are the powers and stuff?
Oh, so not for myself. I'm not even at that yet. I'm trying to come up with the
Oh.
Nemesis name.
Oh, even that. Okay.
Nemesis name. There's just like the. Anyways, I'm just gonna leave it blank for now and come back to that name.
Oh, hey, I got everything.
Good.
You aren't getting background noise from my fan, are you?
No, not that I'm hearing.
Okay. Worried about that. But that's how summer is.
Yes.
It be like that sometimes.
Let's see then. That's that. Okay. I'm going to give about 4 minutes, and then I'm going to start having people introduce, and people can finish things off as we go through. So just if anybody has any questions about abilities or anything, hit me up. Again, I've been playing with the settings on this camera, and it is Google has apparently made a strong choice.
Did it switch? Because I don't usually know how broadcasting on here works with like screen sharing, but I know sometimes it like changes if you like. It would change what microphone is trying or what camera it's trying to pick up.
Yeah, no. What did happened when it did that was it tried to screen share, and then that locked, and so I'm not getting a screen share or the image. The camera itself works; it's just not able to access it even when I change the settings around. So we will see. It may switch back. This is Google.
What's the control room?
The control room essentially allows me to mute people, handle their cameras on and off, change things on.
Okay.
This is essentially a person who's running it. No avail. Oh, well.
Is there? I'm sorry.
Oh, please.
Is there some place where there's a definition for the labels?
Oh, so I can kind of go through that if you want me to. If you look on the move sheet, it also shows you which moves they're associated with.
Okay.
That may be the best thing. But essentially, danger, because these are all about self-image. So danger is you seeing yourself as strong, threatening, risky. Other people think of you as dangerous. Freak is seeing yourself as strange, unusual. I mean, each of those has a sense of that. So the best sort of mechanical way is to look at the moves.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Also, these character sheets are slightly out of order. Like the labels, I noticed freak and danger are switched. So, like I put them in, and then I realized that it was wrong because they switched freak and danger for some reason on this sheet.
Okay. That's because the early playbooks had it that way. I've actually got the older ones, but they changed that up when they realized that alphabetical was probably a better way to go. I think they still have mundane down at the bottom.
Mundane is at the bottom, though, usually, right?
Yeah. But it used to be freak, danger, savior, superior, mundane. And at some point they changed it. So, Hannah, I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
And what I'd like to do is have you give us your basics, the overview. Tell us a little bit about what you can do, and then we'll walk through those backstory questions and get those out on the table. So give us the pitch for Avada Candelabra.
Oh, I wanted to. Okay, so
sorry. Oh, did I step
she's
on your
star? Her name, Phoenix Flint.
Okay.
Or her hero name, Avada Candelabra. She's white with a charming smile. She wears beautiful outfits. I'm picturing like summer clothes all season. And I don't know. I don't think she's like super public about her identity.
Mm-hmm.
But her friends who do know are probably just like, you shouldn't wear short shorts when it's 5 degrees out. And she's like, I'm making a statement, but really she's just keeping herself warm.
Okay.
She has a flashy costume, and I'm kind of thinking, I think it's like a mix of, so there's Cinder from Ruby, which is like this weird kind of like slightly on fire ball gown. I can link that, but that is a look. The other one is I was picturing kind of like big clothes, kind of like Chandra Noir, if you play Magic.
Okay.
But I think it's more of like this weird kind of like fiery themed ball gown. I think that just makes such a good statement for it.
Is it something you imagine that she had tailored, or is it something that she inherited, or how did that come about, a ball gown?
Oh, it definitely started at a party. I think is somebody like, I don't think she had a costume yet, and somebody was like, "Why don't you just be a hero in a ball gown?" And it's because it's not like a big ball gown. It's more of like a, off the shoulder, one sleeve kind of thing. But it's really good. So I think that's just what happened, and she like figured, okay, I don't have to worry about weather that much. So that's how I got there.
Awesome.
You want me to do?
It looks like superior is your strong point on that from your
Yeah.
thing. Tell us about your moves, and then we'll talk about the abilities.
Okay, so I took Cold and Cruel, which is about shutting people down. I took the Gossip Mags, which is about tapping into gossip and rumor of the celebrity industry. So I'm kind of like in the know, and I think what I established is she's a little arrogant, what it seems like. And then I also have I put the audience stuff in there.
Okay.
About like the audience moves of whenever I accept what they tell me about myself or when I seek help from them.
And tell us what you did for those picks. You've got the why does your audience love you?
Okay, so my audience loves me because I'm stunning, unique, and beautiful. I'm charming, well-spoken, and smart. And I'm a firebrand, a rabble-rouser.
Okay.
My advantages are I can easily speak to them at any time because, in the age of, the modern era, why not stream?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, like, you can Twitch subscribe to her, I think.
Okay.
And then I have a major heroes endorsement.
Oh, okay. Do
Yeah.
we know who that is?
Yes, I have that in the backstory.
Okay.
And then my demands are they require frequent bouts of drama and they require chemistry with my allies, which is a really fun duality.
Nice. So let's look at your backstory then.
Okay, so she first appeared on screen as a dare while heroing, and it stuck with her. So, like, it was just a simple bank robbery. It's so easy to go with. Like, there's a bank robbery, and she was like, hey, you want to know what it's like to be a hero? And then, somebody pulled up a drone or something and followed her around, and it was like, yeah. And then we want to make sure the civilians are safe, and then throws a bunch of fire everywhere. She tells people, hang on, I need to put that's not actually what happened, but she tells people that she was cursed as a kid and they put a fire spirit inside of her because people would believe that. People can fly and blow up the moon, of course. The hero that supports her is what I was going to name my Nova, which is Miscellaneous.
Okay.
And she fires things like missiles, and she supports my efforts as a burgeoning star. Knuckle Duster loathes what I represent, which I picture as this, just like a gritty, rough and tough punch hero. Think with your fists.
Sure.
And then what is the exact wording? I forgot to put that on. Oh, why do I care about the team? Because they keep me in check, and if I burn too bright, I'll burn out.
Oh. So Miscellaneous, an older hero, another star, or
I think
what do you imagine there?
I think Miscellaneous is like a Silver Age hero, would have been a Nova, and probably does some stuff by like touching objects to fire them like missiles.
Okay.
Definitely kind of like was also could have been a star, I think, but was more like, yeah, let's just be responsible and show up on milk ads.
So she sees the what could have been in you.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you want to tell us? We'll come back to the team and relationships and stuff. But anything else you want to mention about Avada?
I'm picturing finger guns a lot.
Okay.
I think that's like one trait of all my characters is finger guns, except hers. When she makes a good enough pun, she will actually make smoke from a finger because she can.
Okay. I like that. All right. Let's come. Larry, would it be okay if I had you go next?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I don't have everything quite filled out, but we can make it up as we go along.
Sure.
So I'm playing the transformed. I think the superhero name is going to be Minotaur because he basically looks like a Minotaur. I guess maybe he goes for Tar for short, unless someone can think of a better sort of contraction than that. I don't know what his is yet. Maybe we can come back and fill that in a little bit.
Sure.
So before transformation, he was a white man. And now, as I mentioned, he basically looks like a giant Minotaur in a... I'm trying to think like what he would wear, and I thought maybe like a duster coat, those super long, sort of like trench-like kind of coats, because he has a hard time finding things that will fit over his huge, like hulking frame.
Are you imagining like a sort of classic brown Minotaur, the horns, or is there anything distinct we should know about that? Anything that's unique, that's different from what we would imagine as a classic?
So I'm thinking pretty much classic. I guess the one thing, and this would be just sort of ripping off Hellboy, like whether or not he sort of like shaves down his horns or not.
Okay.
Because I think he does have some issues like with his new appearance. I'm going to say that yes, he does shave down his horns.
Okay.
Not that it really does much. I mean, he still looks very odd, obviously, and can't really hide his freakish appearance.
Mm-hmm.
So
powers, you took impenetrable armor, inhuman might, real classic. I think that super fits with your concept there.
Yeah. And then my stats, or I guess labels, sort of follow along that. The high, freak, and danger, and everything else is pretty low.
Mm-hmm.
For the time being, anyway.
Tell us about your moves.
Yeah, so I chose. I have to figure out a way of copying and pasting it into the Trapper Keeper thing.
Yeah, the move sheet doesn't have the NPC stuff. Don't think it's in the validations there. Sorry.
That's okay. So I chose Unstoppable, which I guess basically would allow me to just smash my way through things, if I rolled well anyway. I chose Wish I Could Be, which is when I comfort or support someone, if I tell them what I envy about them, then I can roll plus freak instead of mundane. So that's sort of a softer kind of move that will hopefully encourage me to do some more interesting like character interaction.
Right.
And then the other one, Be the Monster, which is basically frightening the bejesus out of other people.
All right. Yeah, I like that. Those are good choices. Those are solid ones. So let's take a look at your backstory questions then, and we can kind of work with those to figure out if you haven't got them all. Tell us about those. Who were you before?
So before, I was a popular star athlete with all the privileges. So yeah, I mean, I guess the character concept here is just, that this was, it's a very privileged individual who has lost at least some of those privileges as a result of the transformation, and is trying to figure out like how he's going to now sort of function and move through society. Maybe also I also think that he was like a bully before the transformation. Like he picked on, just basically anybody who's, was sort of weaker than him, or maybe people who like had sort of marginalized social statuses. And if people, I want to be careful, like with that last part, because I don't want to, sort of trigger anybody or Anyways, we can talk about some limits with that.
But we understand that he was using power and punching down.
Yes, absolutely. And now he's in a very sort of different position. So I think the next question is like how I transformed.
Yeah. When did you change and what caused it?
Yeah. So maybe this is sort of in line with the Kirby thing, because I feel like this is a little bit over the top, but basically I changed after I injected an experimental steroid to enhance my athletic performance. I'm not quite sure like how I got that steroid yet. The origins of that, but maybe we can flesh that out and play a little bit.
And how long ago? How long have you had to deal with this situation?
I'm imagining it's relatively recent. Well, how old are we in this setting?
The idea is your late teens.
Okay.
The oldest would be early 20s. So late high school, early college, depending on how you want to do that. The idea is also that you've been together as a team for at least a little while. Okay.
So then I'll probably would say maybe like 18 now, and the transformation happened like when I was 16.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So maybe just a couple of years.
So who outside of the team is helping you understand your new body?
Right. So, and this is something that we can talk about and maybe change this, but I was thinking I wanted it to be somebody who my character had previously bullied. I was wondering if it would be interesting if that person was transgendered, and whether or not, I don't know.
No ED.
No
ED. It's just transgender.
Oh.
Yeah. Common mistake. You can't because you can't verb it really.
Oh, no ED like at the end.
No ED at the end. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I'm still on the fence about that, and if anybody want to weighs in,
well, we can talk about that later on if that's something we do. The idea of transformation is important, and being positive about the transformation. If someone is helping you with that, that's a possibility, and we can come back to that if you like.
Okay. So that was my answer for that question, and then
why don't you just try to hide yourself away? What's made you decide that you want to be out here being a hero in this other form?
I was having a hard time. I think I kind of want to relate this back to basically the sort of toxic masculinity culture that this character is kind of coming out of, and I think maybe he doesn't want to hide because that would almost be admitting weakness, and he doesn't want to admit that he is afraid of rejection or ridicule, things like that. So I think that's why he's kind of forcing himself out into society, participating in this team.
Oh, that's great, and that's a great set of issues to be dealing with. I think that fits perfectly with this kind of character. Why do you care about the team?
Oops, I accidentally erased this part of my answer. I care about the team. I think because this is it, in terms of people that I currently socially interact with. I lost all of my old classmate buddies, the people on the team. None of those guys want to touch me with a 10-foot pole. I'm just a freak as far as they're concerned. So this is my new fam.
Well, and that's a good question. What is your family situation like? Have you been disowned? Have you run away? What do they know? Do you have siblings? What is that structure?
That's a good question. I'm imagining that again, he's had all the privileges. I think this is like upper middle class at the very least, and probably like one of those like really sort of demanding fathers who kind of dominated the household.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm imagining that he's probably not. I'm imagining his father is just not okay with the new version of his son. So I think at this point anyway, like effectively disowned.
Effectively disowned. Cut off from the entire family, or are there portions of it that still communicate with you?
Oh man, these are good questions, Lowell. Maybe I think maybe I have a younger sibling.
Okay.
Who maybe was also not the athlete, was a disappointment to father, and maybe can even like better identify with me now.
Oh, I like that. Okay, well, we'll come back with that because I really like that little detail. But we'll come back on that and thinking about NPCs. I'm going to move on. I want to talk with Jesse about his character Offering. Is that okay?
Yeah, that sounds great.
All right, so let's talk about. Tell us about Offering.
Right. So, Offering was destined to be human, destined to be a sacrifice. The centennial sacrifice on my homeworld tabernacle, which powers the heart engines that maintain our society. I am the doomed, and ultimately, I will be sacrificed. My look is I have these haunted irisless black eyes, so like normal eye whites, but then just black circles in the middle, like big pupils that open and shut. I'm male. I have purple skin, and with kind of like a inky blue-black pompadour. Think, in terms of like a general physique, think like a younger David Lynch that's purple with very dark blue-black hair. In terms of clothes, my civvies are, I wear a hoodie, a t-shirt, jean, and boots. My costume, I kind of like went classic Kirby, ripping off a lot of that Fourth World stuff. So there's like those big brass circles that he puts on everything.
Yep.
To fasten like a high collared blue cape. There's this skin tight metallic green bodysuit with brass piping and blue boots, as well as a sort of like a kind of featuredless hooded mask that covers. At least my eyes are revealed, but the rest of my face is covered. There's not like a mouth hole. It's just covered. And this is the ceremonial costume of the sacrifice, because I escaped on the day that I was supposed to be killed.
Wow.
That's kind of the rough backstory and look.
Tell us. So superhuman strength, speed.
Right. Yeah. So my abilities are superhuman strength and speed, telekinesis, and psychic constructs.
What are the psychic constructs like?
Right. So I'm kind of imagining that like I can call, sort of like using the telekinesis I can use to like move stuff around and lift it up with my brain, but I can also use it to sort of like create physical mental projections within like a certain range around my body, so I can make weapons. I haven't thought if I want to have like a signature melee weapon, or if I just want to like call up what precedes it.
Okay.
Like not call up what precedes it. That was nonsense. Call up like what's necessary in the moment. I haven't quite decided that yet. And I can like project, also like walls, force fields, that kind of like make within reason like solid stuff out of nothing that lasts as long as I focus on it.
Okay. So let's look at the Doom thing. This is always really interesting to me. In the Doomed, you've got 2 things you choose that bring your Doom closer. So what are those?
Right. Yeah. So I don't start with any moves. I just have this Doom stuff. So I think isn't it 3 things that bring my Doom closer? Only 2.
Well, let me see. I may be
Let me double check. I thought it was 3, but I could be. I picked 3. Looking. Choose 2. You're right. Great. I'll drop 1.
Okay.
So since the idea is that I am being hunted, the things I chose that like my Doom is that they're going to come and get me and bring me back and kill me. So the sort of 2 things I think that make it more obvious that I'm where I am, right, which is number 1, when I talk about it openly, right? So if I'm like telling people about this, they're looking for me, word will get back somehow, it will be overheard. And when I overexert myself, like when I use my powers too much, like they're able to pick up on that because this energy that gives me my powers is what they want to ultimately use me for. And so they're able to like detect that.
Sure.
Yeah. And so that's the Doom, as I said, is that I am slated to be the Centennial Sacrifice on my homeworld, which I've decided is called Tabernacle, to power the heart engines that maintain our society.
And what Doom sign do you start with?
Portal. Mark your Doom track to appear in a scene with anyone you want. Yeah, I think the idea is sort of it's the same. It's like related to the telekinesis and psychic projections, kind of that like this is a power that they actually didn't train me in, and that was part of what I used to escape.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, but that like ultimately it's also the kind of thing that like as I more and more of my powers manifest, I will be also more easily found. And should I talk about my nemesis and my sanctuary? Or?
Yeah, let's hear about that.
So my nemesis is Dargath, the high priest and ruler over this world of Tabernacle, and I'm leaving it kind of vague whether it's like a planet in space or an alternate dimension. We can talk about that or not. We can just sort of leave it vague.
Sure.
And he has a cult of butcher priests, and their greatest humiliation was my escape. He must have me back at all costs, or his power will break as the heart engines fail. But at the same time, civilization on my homeworld will also collapse. So I'm like a little bit like ambivalent there. On the one hand, like it's a horrible place run by a dictator who wants to kill me, but also it's a place where like people I love live, and it's where I'm from, and like maybe I should just like so I would like ultimately my doom will come whether or not I defeat my nemesis, because that's the like
at least for now that is to do what must be done.
Exactly, but at the same time I can't like his rule his tyranny must end.
Tell us about this sanctuary.
Yes, the sanctuary is the ship I escaped on. I think I used that porter ability to hop into a ship, whether it's a world sliding ship or a spaceship. Again, we can sort of leave vague. And I think I sort of shifted it into to Earth, and it's sort of like buried with like a little entry, maybe under a tree or a rock, in a park. It has its benefits are a powerful computer, useful tools, as well as art, music, and food. I think there's a collection of art and music, both from my homeworld and from here, from Earth. I'm stealing a little bit from I can't remember his name. He was blue. He was like kind of the outsider, like that Kree prince from the Kieran Gillen Young Avengers run.
Yeah.
You know the guy who was
I know who you're talking about, yeah.
Super into like 60s soul music, and like a big fan of like I think I think I have a taste for some element of Earth pop culture that I have yet to determine what it will be, although I'm leaning towards like 30s noir stuff because that's cool.
Okay.
And also like art and food from my home world that sort of like reminds me of the pleasanter times when I was younger, before I was taken to be the sacrifice. And its downsides are it draws dangerous attention because again, they're looking for it, and when I use it, that could draw some attention. Also, it's in a public place, kind of, even though it's hidden, so it could also draw attention that is not from my nemesis, right? And it's tied intricately to my doom, again, in that it like comes from my world. It's powered originally from the power from the heart engine. Like there's maybe I even have to like power it with like a couple drops of my blood.
Yikes.
Maybe not. I don't know. I just came up with that there, but I would think it's kind of cool.
Let's look at your backstory. Some of this you've kind of established, but I do want to know when did you first learn that you were going to be the sacrifice? Is that always?
Right. So I first learned of my doom that I was going to be the sacrifice on my 11th birthday. And I don't think we talked about age, but I think I am 16 now. I think or maybe I'm on my I think the sacrifice is supposed to happen on my 16th birthday. And so maybe I'm like 17, like it's been about a year, let's say. So I first learned to do on my 11th birthday when it was discovered I had these powers and I was taken from my family to be groomed as the sacrifice, which requires training to a certain extent in the use of these powers because they need to be cultivated so that they can be used in the sacrifice.
Yeah, I like that. And we know where you got your sanctuary. We know the ship. And beyond them, your nemesis wanting to murder you, what else drives you to oppose your nemesis?
My nemesis rules my world with a cruel fist, and their tyranny. I think he's male, although I haven't quite decided yet. But I think his tyranny like holds is horrible, and I would like it to end.
Who outside of the team is crucial to defeating your nemesis?
So the leader of a crushed rebel movement in hiding on Earth, but they know Dargoth's weakness. And I don't know who this person. I mean, Offering doesn't know who this person is. Like we can find that out in play, or I can just like come up with something. And
I like that. They might not want to reveal themselves. They might think it's a trap, that kind of thing.
Right. Like I think Offering, I didn't think I said this on stream, but who's like the civilian name he goes by is Dylan Dare. Yeah. So I think Offering knows this person exists, but is not like, quite sure who they are, where they are, what they're doing. Yeah.
And why does the team matter to you?
I wasn't sure if this was the best way to phrase this. So if anyone has suggestions as to the way to sharpen the language a little bit to make it more actionable. But I care about the team because they show me that the world doesn't have to eat us all. Right? That like the world isn't just this like destructive place that like tears up and destroys everything that goes through it. It's not just the Vale of Tears, but it's like there's solidarity, there's love and friendship, there's like sanctuary.
Yeah, I like that. I want to swing back to something you mentioned before. You said you have loved ones back on your home world. I mean, are these siblings, your parents? I mean, what's their deal? How are they, dealing with this? Are they suffering because of this? Have they been sent to hunt you?
So I do not know what's happened to them. I was taken from them when I was 11. And I think that they were a good family. They were kind to me. They were like everything a child might want a parent to be, while dealing with the reality of living under tyranny. So like, and when the time came for me to be taken, they just gave me up, right?
Okay.
So like, I have a certain amount of, like, I have loved ones. These are my parents, maybe let's say 2 siblings, and like I have fond memories of them, and maybe some, but like, and this is like the world I know and knew, but I don't. My connection to it is maybe a little tenuous.
Okay. All right. That gives us some nice ambiguity to play with there. Finally, Mike, tell us about your character.
All right. Well, first of all, I should let everyone know I went with an entirely different character
I
concept.
was about to say I'm crossing out Serpentina on my piece of paper here.
I apologize, but I do tend to do this a lot. But I'm good to go with the concept.
Okay.
So I've switched my playbook to the protege, and my character is Jamie Brigg, aka Whippet. And as far as the look is concerned, I found I posted a picture. She basically wears a black bodysuit with the blue kind of neonish highlights, and maybe her most distinctive feature. She's got a cool looking helmet with multiple eyes, and she's got her 2 neon whips, which can entangle. That she could use them like a they can be used like a grappling hook. They're kind of versatile. Basically, anything you could realistically see, some high tech whips doing is what they do.
Okay.
And let's see, what should I go to next? Oh yes, the mentor. So going again with the idea of ridiculous concepts played totally seriously. Since my character's named Whippet, I'm going to say that my mentor's identity is glow stick, and that's a capital GLOW as if it were a acronym, and then stick STIQ. And I'm going to write that down in the sheet before I forget. Also, I want to see it. This looks. And the mentor's ability, she basically, the powers. So we both have weapons and gadgets in similarity. She's a much better fighter, glow stick. She has the impossible fighting skills. My unique ability that the mentor does not have, I'm not so sure of yet, but perhaps it could have something to do with that funky helmet she's wearing.
All right.
Like maybe some kind of like extra sensory, not ESP specifically, but like maybe heightened senses, like maybe like just all-purpose like night vision, 360-degree vision, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Especially with all those multiple eyes. So I'll just put in enhanced senses.
Sure.
My mentor, Glowstick, she embodies the superior attribute and denies the mundane. And the moves I've chosen for her are been reading the files, because I think one of the things that appealed to me most about playing a teen superhero is playing the kind of like the aficionado who's like reads up all on superhero history, and it's kind of like a walking encyclopedia of super stuff. Secondly, I also chose the heroic tradition move, which makes him really good at comforting or supporting people because of her experience as a protege to a major superhero. She knows she kind of likes to have the ability to parlay the wisdom she's glommed off her mentor and apply that to other people. So that's why I chose those moves.
And your mentor's resources?
I forgot. Oh boy. Okay. I didn't even realize that. Well, I totally missed that. So the resources, let's go down the list. Since this is basically a Batman and Robin kind of deal, we'll go with there's a lot. Okay, so I see. These resources that the mentor gave our team.
Yes.
Let's go for a hidden base. because we got to have a clubhouse. And
now we do already have a the Doomed has a sanctuary, so hidden base may be a little bit redundant with that.
Okay. Yeah, let's scratch that. Do we have any vehicles? Do we have any common transportation?
Not yet.
Okay. Do we have like who here has like some kind of moving power, like flight or anything like that?
That would be Avada.
Yeah, I can, fire blast everywhere.
Oh.
Which I'm kind of picturing like Iroh, but in Iroh in Legend of Korra, where he's doing like the flame feat. Was that Iroh? Like the new Iroh or something?
All right.
Well, let's say that I'll go with the vehicle, supercomputer, and med lab.
Okay.
Sure. Let's go with those three.
That's classic. I noticed, by the way, you still have to put +1 on one of your labels.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
So,
so your mentor, male or female?
oh, they're both female.
Okay. All right. So let's go to backstory then. How did you first meet your mentor?
Let's say she's my mom.
Okay. Oh, that's a tough road to hoe. Okay. And how long ago did you decide to train? And I put decide in air quotes. You would see me doing air quotes right now. To train with them, and why did you decide to do that?
We're gonna say when, like, how long ago, or just like what age she?
Yeah. Tell us about how that came about.
Okay. Well, I think we got to the point where she wanted me to get some experience interacting with powered beings instead of like us mere mortals who have neat toys, and that's why she wanted me to join our as yet unnamed team. So this would have been about so I think that's why she did that. I think it was just a matter of her, like, for her it was just a matter of expanding my character's training.
Okay. So you've kind of been groomed for this for a very long time.
Yeah.
And it's not a question of why did they agree to train you? Why did you agree to be trained? Did you know your mom was a super?
I'm gonna say I probably did. I'm sure.
And was that exciting to you? Did you wanna?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's all about the. Yeah, she's well, I think one thing I'm retaining from back when she had the Beacon background was the Beacon playbook was that she's definitely about the thrill of adventure.
So she's still down with this. She's still excited about this, despite having a mother who is a superhero. That hasn't yet diminished the shine on this.
Not yet, no.
Okay, all right. And who else outside the team knows about your training?
Let's see who else knows. Let's say I'm sure I've got a best friend who keeps me I guess sheltered, you guess, or grounded, I guess you could say.
Okay, got a best friend, male or female?
We'll make it a dude. And the person's name is going to be Greg DuPont.
Okay, I'll write down Greg. You can put that in the NPC thing. Now let me ask you, this is another question. Do you have siblings? Where's your dad?
The dad is a imprisoned supervillain.
Okay. Is that something that is spoken about in the household or not?
No, it's kind of a no, it is. I mean, I don't think my mom. I don't think Glow Stick would keep secrets like that.
Okay. And other kids, or is just you?
Just me. I'm
okay.
Only child.
And so your best friend Greg knows about your training. Is trying to keep the secret. They know the inside scoop on this. Why do you care about the team?
I think because they're. I think she cares about them because they're all very kind of like out there personalities. You know, you've got someone from another planet. You've got some like someone in the body of a beast, and you've got Phoenix, kind of Phoenix Flint, who's kind of her own her own ball of fire. And I think she feels like she could be a good like centering piece to this group of very wildly powerful and bombastic out there kinds of entities.
I noticed you avoided the phrase misfits.
Oh yeah, I did. I tried.
All right.
Yes, but I think mostly she appreciates the fact that they're not as like driven as my mom is.
Okay.
She says that there's a way you could be a mask and not be super intense, and have it be a borderline obsession.
I like it. So we're going to take a 5-minute break here. When we come back, we're going to hit when we first met and the relationship questions, and then hopefully roll into at least a couple of scenes here before we wrap today. So let's take 5. We'll come back. Yeah, this camera thing bugs me. It vexes me.
You're a disembodied voice speaking from the deep, like the some old-fashioned idea. That's the wrong word, but like some imaginary idea of a DM, right?
Yeah. I actually ran Mutants and Masterminds for many, many years for a Wednesday night group, and they refused to use cameras, and it drove me mad. I'm so glad that the Gauntlet, we mostly use cameras, and I am upset that mine is not working, but it will be working next time. It is merely that screen share decided to be a punk.
Yeah, this is the only time I've used cameras for an RPG.
Oh, really?
Like, I normally run it on Discord, and we'll have Roll20, but I won't really use it for maps, because I hate doing all of that prep. Like, my like few maps I do are just like hand-drawn garbage, because that's all you need. And then I have friends who use it like to an extent and like subscribe so they can make dungeons with line of sight where you move your pieces and all the overlays. And I'm just like, good effort. I can't do it.
Yeah, I keep a subscription, and I use it when I do things like 13th Age, even though we're not measuring out any kind of distance. I just like having the little figures on the table. So yeah, there's a lot of different levels of doing that, but yeah, I wouldn't do line of sight. Having played miniatures war games for many years, never want to do that again. Anyway, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go around, and the book suggests that everybody say what their when we met question is, and we all put those out on the table, and then we'll talk about that, and we'll kind of figure out what the story is of that. So from our star, what was our stars when our first came together statement?
Okay. All right. The stars one is: we as a team attracted the attention of a major media outlet within the city thanks to our efforts. Who are they, and why do they support us?
Okay, so let's keep that on board. Support. All right. Then what about our transformed?
Yeah, my question is, when our team first came together, we drew the attention and ire from plenty during the fight. One important person in particular now hates and fears us. Who is it?
Okay. So I like that. That's a nice flip. We've got a major media outlet that likes you and someone important that hates you. That's a good setup. What about then are doomed?
We paid a high cost for victory. What was it?
High cost for victory. All right. And lastly, our protege.
We all stuck together after all was said and done. Why? And how did we keep ourselves in contact?
Okay. Contact. So, anyone have an idea of what we'd like to have as sort of the incident for this? The sort of the original fight? Was it? Do you think it was against a big group? Do you think it was against a solo villain? Was it against a natural disaster or something? Anybody feel strongly about that?
I have a bad pun.
Well, let's start with that.
Well, since this is the Gauntlet, I think we got into a fight with a group called the Boot or Das Boot.
Das Boot.
Right.
So a group like a villainous, low level agents like AIM or something like that.
Are they pirate themed in like a flying boat?
Oh my god.
Okay.
It might be too much. It
The
doesn't
boot
fit
boat?
any. It doesn't. Well, because Das Boot is the boat.
The Flying Dutchman. It's a famous Wagner opera. They could be very, very high Germanic operatic pirates that you fought. Okay, so flying ship. We've got pirate-themed villains. We'll assume that there is a leader of them. So
Captain. Never mind.
Okay, it was one step too far.
It was just boring.
Okay, so we've got a captain. We'll come back to that. So you fought them. Where do you think the fight took place? So Hannah has given us Das Boot, and we've got the pirates from that. Larry, where did we have the fight at?
I feel like it's got to be someplace very public and quite like populated, because just with the nature of my question, like we drew attention and ire from lots of people. So I feel like we ended up causing like substantial property damage, and
like a park, like a mall, like a sporting arena.
Right. Okay.
Madison
so definitely
dodecahedron garden.
I don't know what that is. Is that a real place?
I was thinking because Madison Square Garden, but because we're rolling dice, Madison dodecahedron garden.
Ah.
Yeah, it's a stretch.
Yeah, that works for me. Sure.
Okay. So, like, what kind of sports arena here? What kind of event was going on when this when these villainous pirates went to rob the place?
I think it must have been a lacrosse game, which is Richard's or Tar's, whatever, former sport.
Oh,
so it was it was particularly painful to see the game going on as they're duking it out with the pirates.
like the whatever counts as the big lacrosse tournament for the region or the nation going on there. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So let me ask you this then, because I think this now we've got that on there. Who do you think then is this person of importance that you managed to upset? What do you think, Larry? Since that's your question, right?
That is my question. I mean, like an easy answer would just be like sort of like the mayor of the town.
Okay.
I guess maybe a weirder answer, like the lacrosse team coaches for some reason is like super like influential or something. I don't. Does that sound interesting to people, or
like they're a pillar of the community, like they're on the city council, that kind of thing?
Like the Joe Paterno kind of character.
Ooh.
Or would it be like the national commissioner of lacrosse was there? Also, can one of the teams playing have been the Pirates, just to make it even more confusing?
Absolutely.
Oh, of course.
I do like the idea that you have that kind of plays off your stuff about someone who is in this very high, wealthy, white privilege. The lacrosse is such a symbol of that, and that they've taken, that they have taken personal offense against your group having come in here and done that.
Okay,
that works
like
for me.
National Lacrosse
Mike also
commissioner.
The owner. Mike suggested the owner of the stadium is also a good one.
That would explain why they're having a lacrosse tournament there.
Well, he could be both the commissioner and the owner of the stadium. How about that?
Right. We've got
This
just
is
a
one
very
powerful
wealthy local figure with these kinds of ties. That makes sense to me.
Okay.
So let me ask then, Jesse, what were you doing at a lacrosse tournament?
That's a great question. So
is it near the park that your ship is in?
So yeah, so here's so I think I was it's not far. I don't want to say it's near.
Mhm.
So I think so I've decided that the like the earth culture I'm into after I picked the pompadour as a hairstyle is 50s rockabilly culture. So I think I was like walking to a record store that's near the lacrosse tournament.
Okay.
Like I was sort of like slinking through when this thing happened.
So we got the stadium, we've got this flying ship, we've got these pirates. The group fought them. Jesse, what are you imagining is the high price for victory that you paid? What happened?
So there's a couple of possibilities. Feel free if this is like too much, we can step it back. But maybe there was a fifth super there who didn't make it. Right? That like the like it's maybe a little bit of a cop out because it's just like a death of someone that we've never like because this is the first time I'm talking myself out of it now. Like
Doesn't even have to be a
it.
death. That
okay,
they were there, but they helped, but they vanished. You know, something happened in the powers. You're not sure what occurred.
Good. I like that. That somehow we don't know whether it was us or the pirates or even her, but
But you deeply suspect, right, that it was your fault, right?
Oh, 100%. That like I portaled her somewhere, or like the Dargath was trying to zap me out, and he zapped something like that. 100%. It's always my fault.
All right. Do we have a name?
To me gets hurt. Let's say Roxy.
Okay.
And whether that's an alias or a real name, maybe we don't even really know because we only met this person the once.
So were they like a thing-like person?
Yes.
Okay.
It's Rocksy.
Okay.
Good. Thank you for that.
Okay. So this went on. We have this vanish. I mean, this is a very spectacular battle that you were involved in. I now know. I mean, I have a good sense of why a Minotaur would have been there. I have a sense of why our Doomed was. Why was the star there?
So I was thinking about this, and I have a really good bad answer.
Okay.
And so one of the things is she's been learning to like tap into the gossip and keep what's up to date, and occasionally she'll go to like thrifty events and stuff. So one of her fans was like, "Hey, I got tickets to this event. I think it's field hockey," because they saw lacrosse and thought lacrosse was field hockey. But they're like, "I think it's field hockey. It might just be hockey." So she came expecting a hockey game, and instead it was a lacrosse game. Was very confused, but was like, "I got free tickets. I might as well enjoy it." And so I think she's there because of like a double misunderstanding, but also a gift.
So what is, I mean, we've established now with this major media outlet thing that some group saw you for, or five minus one. So who is that, and why have they taken, focused their attention on you or given you support?
So a name I've used before for news, which I love because it's bad, is they're cat themed and they're called Housey Neon News.
Okay.
Like instead of Halcyon, it's Housey Neon, like NYAN. I can type it just so it like sometimes it.
Oh, that's even better than what I wrote down. That's great.
Yeah, it's Housey Neon News.
So I assume like a streaming news service, you know, with a whole sort of geek themed kind of thing going on, and felines and there. Okay.
Yeah. I picture kind of like the same kind of following that like College Humor has. You know, a lot of people, and occasionally you'll see like a Halcyon video and be like, I didn't expect this. Like, this is a cool video. And then at the end, there's like a cat, and you're like, oh, it was Halcyon. And you get fed up because you're like, I'm sick of seeing them. But they keep getting the scoop.
And what kind? Do you think their attention is legitimate? They're like, oh wow, these are really cool people, or are they? Oh my god, look at these. Hee hee. We'll do videos about them.
Yes, I think it's both.
Okay,
I think it's both.
There's arguments in the writers' room.
I think they kind of treat it like, oh, hey, we're watching this burgeoning superhero team or a group of superheroes or whatever, and we got like the scoop, and they've got a couple of those then, and then also it's like, wow, what a bunch of kids making a mess. Let's keep making videos of this because it's easy content.
Perfect. And so how was it that Whippet happened to be on scene? Was this clever calculation, or pure happenstance? How was Whippet there?
Yeah, I think it would make sense that that she may have been tracing an investigation, and that happened to dovetail into the scene. Yeah, so I think she had maybe was tracking down these pirates, and that's just what, you know, they emerged here, and that's when she knew that she needed to get to that stadium.
Was Whippet planning on taking them on by herself?
Probably.
So
actually, you know what? Yeah, unless the team had taken Gloster captive, or the pirates had taken Gloster captive, and then when the five of us converged to defeat the pirates, and then I guess free Gloster maybe.
Oh, so the group actually, I mean, successfully rescued an adult hero.
Yeah, unless you think that might be too ostentatious.
No, I think that's good, because it actually rolls nicely into your question here. Perhaps it was that Glowstick saw something in this group, at least at the start, maybe not now, but saw something then that thought that this might be a good group for you to take charge of. Does that make sense? Does that seem to be a good reason?
That sounds good to me.
Okay. So how?
Whether or not that's what she actually wants to do, that's I guess we'll find out as we play along.
So how do you remain in contact? Do you think that she's provided you with communicators, or are you still relying on cell phones and tweets?
Yeah, I think we could have. Yeah, it could be one of the three. Could that be one of the mentor's resources?
Yeah, let's look.
Yeah, communicators is one of the three possible things.
Okay. Are the three of you cool with having a branded communicator?
Are they like the you know, those like half earpieces that have like the half then have the mic that goes to about like the cheek? Yeah, it's just the most over the top thing
with lots of neon on it.
Yeah, I was thinking like, what if it was Secret Service? But no, that doesn't make sense for this.
So you have these communicators.
I can see. Yeah, I can envision something really small like this. You know, the size of a pin. Like even like something that the next gen Star Trek crew would wear. You know,
yeah,
little button thing.
That makes sense.
And it probably would be neon. That would be part of the branding, right?
Yeah. All right. So that gives us a sense of that. How long ago? Are we talking a few months ago? A few weeks ago? A year ago? What do you guys think?
I like a few
By the way,
months.
I'm Midwestern. I'm going to apologize now. I always use guys generically. I apologize. I'm trying to break myself of that habit. So if you notice me doing that,
I mean, I
I'm
feel that. I'm
white.
from Texas.
Okay. So do you think how long?
Maybe like 6 months, like long enough to be like sort of established, but not so long that it's, or do people want it to be shorter or longer?
I like 6 months, I think, because it's long enough to have had the comic series rebooted by a new artist,
Right.
but the same writer.
Okay. So we've got that. Let's look at the relationship questions now. I'm going to go in the same order that I did things at the start. So Hannah, you've got 2 relationship questions.
So I think offering might wind up being a bigger star, might wind up being more of a star than me someday. I think the warping and the growth is definitely something that, like, offering definitely has a unique branding that to rival mine.
I like that. Are you good with that offering?
Yeah, that's good.
And then I think Whippet would be a great sidekick. I try to keep them around.
Okay. I like that idea of that relationship, a little power dynamic there. Let's step to your influence question.
Okay.
And just a minute. Choose how you see the team as a means to an end or something worthwhile on its own.
So if I see the team as a means to an end, give no influence. If I see the team as something worthwhile, give 3 teammates influence. And I think I see the team as something worthwhile. I
Okay.
think that I'm here like by choice. So I definitely think it is.
So in that case, then
And
each of your
3-1.
teammates will write down that you have influence over Avada. And we'll talk about in play how influence works. It's a little different than other PBTA games. That brings us to the offering. What are your relationship questions? What did I lose? Offering?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were going to a Minotaur next.
Oh, geez. You're right. I switched the order on you. That was completely my fault.
Yeah, but I can go if you want.
Let's go, and then we'll do Minotaur.
Great. So, first relationship question is: you told blank all about your doom and the danger you're in. I think that's going to be Minotaur. I think that. I'm sorry, Rich. What are your character's pronouns?
He, him.
He, him. Right. So I think like I sort of saw him as like sort of a fellow person who like can't pass on the street all the time, and like sort of felt a certain kind of kinship, and told him about my story and what the deal is.
Nice.
That makes sense.
You'd love to kiss X before your doom comes?
All right, so I think I would love to kiss Whippet before my doom comes.
Mhm.
I think that like there's something about her rootedness, like her number one, her humanity, her like connection to her mother, that she comes from something and is a part of something, and like I come from something and I guess I'm kind of a part of it, but I'm so distant from it. Like seeing that kind of connection in her like attracts me in kind of a way.
Okay, I like that. And you, with your influence, you give influence to 2 of your teammates, essentially that you care about what they think.
Yes. So I think the one is going to be Avada, Like, I think she is a person who, I think the way the question is phrased is something is like, can be helpful to me in my for what I need to do. And I just think like her, number one, I need to find this rebel leader, and like she can get the word out. But also, it's more than that, right? It's her, like, it's a different kind of connectedness than Whippet has, right? It's like a real, like, I can reach out into the world and affect it, and get people's attention and like do stuff. And so yeah, and then
Perfect.
I think the other one is going to be Whippet, because I want to smooch.
Okay.
Important.
It's a good, strong answer.
Mm-hmm.
Which brings us to Minotaur. Minotaur, you've got a couple of really interesting ones there.
Yeah. So my first relationship question is, blank comforted you when you were at your lowest. I mean, I think it makes sense and sort of matches up with Offering's first question.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I think you're sort of finding solace in one another. Yeah, so I'm going to say Offering for that one. And the second one is blank knew you before you changed. And
Interesting.
I'm more up in the air about that. Obviously not Offering.
But yeah, which of these other two? I mean, they're around your age.
Right.
Maybe we're in the same circles, at least somewhat. Which of them knew you?
I mean, it might make sense for Avada. I mean, being the charismatic.
I have a bad idea on that.
You do? Oh, like a good bad idea?
It's always a good bad idea.
Okay.
You
Let's hear
were a major fan of the stream.
Oh.
Which is a good bad idea.
A big part of stream chat.
Yeah, like you were a moderator and a sub, and you were one of the people who probably guested on like a chat while it was going on or something.
Does that fit
Like
with your
back when
conception?
I think it could work. I mean, maybe because back in, pre-transformation, I was like sort of like a minor celebrity, athlete star. I think that fits together, right?
Okay. Yeah. That works. You try not to care what other people think, but even if you can't shut everyone out, you're going to give influence to one of your teammates. Ooh.
Yeah.
Who do you care what they think about you?
Oh my gosh, this is tough.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see it being Avada, in the sense of like, I feel like she is maybe sort of like closest to my old life. That might give her like a certain amount of like power over me.
I kind of want to say no. I think Avada being close to your old life is like, I don't think Avada is the nicest person. And
interesting.
You're kind of aware of like, hey, maybe I wasn't the nicest person. And then you see Avada, and one of Avada's moves is literally about shutting people down. And it's like,
right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And would it make sense for Whippet? Now, if Whippet, I mean, maybe if I've sort of, I'm trying, like my old life is, irrevocably lost, and now I'm trying to embrace this like new super. And Whippet sounds like Whippet might be kind of like the team leader a little bit. I don't know, like
certainly enthusiastic about the life.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Whippet.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You good with that, Whippet?
Sure. So I have influence. I have influence over everyone.
Looks like it. That's a good thing.
You're a very influential guy.
And that brings us then to our protege, what are your relationship questions?
Right. First of all, I'd like to go over a couple of changes I've made to the character. It's the same playbook. Don't panic.
Okay.
But given now that I've heard more about everyone's characters, I think it might be interesting to, and tell me if you think this would be fun to play or not fun to play. But what if I switched the denial attribute of my mentor from mundane to freak? And maybe
interesting.
the reason that Glowstick had Whippet join the team was to keep an eye on the two, on the pretty freakish group of heroes we have here.
That is
quote unquote freakish, right?
perfect.
That's great.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, because I'm starting to get a vision of Glowstick as kind of like almost certainly not a mutant hater, but certainly prejudiced against people with powers. She might have a grudge against people, a slight grudge against all people with powers, especially ones that are overtly inhuman, like a distrust there.
Mm-hmm.
And given that we're both just mortals who have cool toys, that part of it might just be the fear or jealousy of the power differential, and
I like it.
Would be like maybe more legitimate, or at least more so, and I just realized I'd only picked 2 out of my 3 protege moves. So, oh wait,
I just thought of something.
Mhm.
Can I change? Looking at how that character is now, can I change blank loathes what I represent from Knuckle Duster to instead your mentor?
I like it.
Because I'm all about using powers and being flashy, and your mentor is like, no, I trained to be good at fighting.
So what's the effective?
It's just backstory of like, it makes a triangle instead of, it makes a really good triangle of that.
I like it. So what are your relationship questions then? So
here we go. Blank and I teamed up a few times before the rest of y'all came together. So that, So I don't think it's going to be Offering since he's new to the planet.
Right.
I'd say if it was going to be anyone, it would be Ava.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And then my mentor is, and this is what sparked my my thinking. Okay. My other relationship thing is, my mentor is cautious. They asked you to keep an eye on Blank. And that's where I started thinking.
Could that be Avada instead?
Oh, would you like that to be Avada?
Yeah, that seems more like Avada. It really fits it. I think that makes it a lot better.
Now, that would be...
You could just say everyone on the team. That's kept asked to keep an eye on everyone on the team there.
True. But it can be... Yeah, we could broaden it to basically be all the team members, as long as that doesn't seem too broad, so to speak.
Yeah.
All right. So those are the relationship questions.
So you get to choose your demeanor, playful or business.
Yeah, I think I see this person being more business because I'm modeling him after Robin, or her after Robin. Which means I get to be selfish and give
no teammates get influence.
Which feels a little selfish, but also kind of plays in with what I'm thinking for a character concept.
Perfect.
As it develops.
All right. So at the start of session, there's a start of session move, and at the start of session, I put one team in a team pool. So that is the way that sort of assistance is rendered in the game, is using that team pool. You can use it for yourself, selfishly, or you can help out your compatriots. And essentially each piece of team pool that's spent, we'll talk about the mechanic, but it's essentially a +1. So we start out with that. So I'm going to ask a couple of questions that are going to set up the situation. I want to do at least a quick scene here so we get a chance to get a feel for the mechanics here. We've got that Roll for Your Party page. If you haven't used Roll for Your Party before, essentially you select the 2 dice that you want, and then you click Reroll Selected. And that should roll it. Sometimes you'll get the same number, and you'll go, did it roll? That will happen. Any case, let me ask you this. Hannah, let me get to the superhero names. Perfect. Avada.
Yeah.
So tell me, how is Troll bringing this room down? What is he doing that is bringing this room down right now?
Oh, Troll is... There was a dress code, and one of the dress code... What part of the dress code was shirt required? It was
Okay.
it was no shirt, no shoes, no service. And also, specifically, don't bring a giant club. And he is breaking all of those rules.
So essentially, Troll is swinging this giant club around, is bringing the room down.
Yeah.
Okay. So we know it's some kind of party, some kind of gathering. Tell me, Minotaur, what kind of party or event is it that the team is facing at least Troll in right now, smashing, bringing a part of this down? Might be muted.
Sorry. I got. I'm not quite sure who Troll is. I missed that.
So Troll is. Well, let's describe him. Here's a what you imagine a supervillain who's named Troll would look like. So we've got an 8-foot guy, blue skin, shorts that he's barely holding on. Got sort of a combat jacket that's pulled up, kind of a hoodie. Nothing fits quite right on them, and he's got this enormous club.
Got it.
So what kind of event?
I think it's a bar mitzvah.
Okay, so there's some sort of high society bar mitzvah that's going on, and we've gotten to the part where they're trying to get the kids to dance, and nobody wants to dance, and that's going on, and the Troll is smashing it. We're not entirely sure why. Tell me, outsider, what was the lead that brought you here, that you followed to get to this place, to that you knew Troll was going to be attacking this bar mitzvah?
Just to clarify, you're talking to me?
Yes.
Okay. I think it was the sound of screaming and smashing.
So it really that it's a happenstance. The four of you are on patrol.
Yeah, I think we were like out on patrol. I think, or maybe one of us was out on patrol, right? We have those communicators from Whippet and Glowstick, right? So like one of us was on patrol, or even just happened to be walking by. No, better. Tell me if you like this.
Sure.
Avada was invited as a celebrity guest.
Oh my
because
god.
the bar mitzvah kid is a huge fan.
Okay.
Avada is confused about why there is no menorah because she got the celebrations confused.
She thought candelabra, it's perfect, I'm all set.
I know.
Yes.
And then they're just like, that's Hanukkah.
So let me ask one last question. What is Troll after? Tell me, Whippet, why is Troll here? I mean, is it just destruction, or is there another purpose? What do you think, Whippet?
I'm sorry, that was directed to me. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I
will.
think,
By the way, I will mess up all your names, and you will forget your names. That's how superhero games work.
right. So I think the I think Charles detected that there was well, the first thing that comes to mind is that he thinks there might be a superhuman amongst the guests.
Ah, all right. That there's someone, I guess, here that Troll is after for some reason, a recruitment or capturing or something that's going on. So the situation is right now we've got a big ballroom, and this is like on the upper floor of a hotel, big fancy hotel with balconies and things like that. So you're up high, and Troll is smashing things. You've got people running, screaming. The ceiling is starting to come down. You suspect that there is someone that Troll is after, but you've got all these civilians and all these potential dangers. So tell me, what would Avada do?
Oh, so Troll is tearing up the place. The first thing she does is, I think just for ease of streaming, she has a drone that follows her.
Okay.
And she would whip that out first. And
so you're getting yourself set and starting that streaming?
I think it's like, you know how sometimes in like just overly ridiculous sci-fi movies where they literally just toss up like a drone and it just automatically balances? I think it's as simple as that.
Okay. Yeah, you got a super hover drone.
And I think what she does, like it's nothing special. It's, you know, they've got superpowered gadgets now. But I think what she's trying to do is, you said like debris was falling?
Well, the Troll has smashed some of the supporting pillars, and it looks like some of the ceiling in here is starting to come down. And this is a ballroom, so the ceiling's high, big tall pillars. And this is an old classic hotel ballroom. We've also got chandeliers in here, that kind of stuff. Things are shaking the whole room.
So I'm trying to think whether Avada would ignore the people. I think Avada, no, okay. So Avada knows what's going on.
Yes.
And I don't think she would, I'm trying to decide if she would just straight up go after Troll or if she would try and evacuate the people. And it's not like she could make like I don't think she would make like a fire trail or something to be like, hey, evacuate with the fire.
So what do you want to do?
I think she's just going to go straight up and try and stop Troll from hurting anything else. And she's going to do a slightly exaggerated Falcon punch.
Okay. So that seems to me like you ignore the people, you ignore the collapsing, you ignore the debris. We know what risk is on the table, and you are directly engaging this threat, right?
Yeah. So let me see what my danger is.
Let's see what your danger is. I hope it's low.
Oh, it is. I'm positive it's low. I think that's partially why I want to do this.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to use the red dice.
All right.
It's 0. So I got a 9.
That's a 9. Now, one of the things is if someone is helping you right now, if we consider that our leader is Whippet, Whippet has influence on everyone in the team. So right now, I'm going to say flat right now that we've got 3 team pool, which means if anyone wants to assist, they could do that, spend a team from the team pool to give after the roll, give +1 to Avada.
Yes.
Yes.
First of all,
yeah.
Yes, sorry. First of all, because of my captain move, that would add an extra team point.
Look at that! You've got 4. You've got 1 for everybody. Look at that.
And I carry +1 forward if I'm the leader. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I can. Yeah, I'll
So just you spend the team from team pool. We go down to 3. Describe to me how you're assisting Avada in attacking a Troll.
Well, so Troll's like below us. We're like above one on the face. Is that right?
Well, I'm in a big ballroom. He's knocking things down, swinging his club around. I assume you're in there. You can set up the position for me.
Oh, okay. So
how are you helping?
I think I was planning it, and tell me if this actually is a help or not. But
okay.
I was hoping to like kind of like use my whips to get people out of kind of like corral people out of the line of fire, like maybe like drag pull back a few people who might get advantage.
You're trying to help Avada do this direct engagement of this threat. How are you assisting her?
Okay, let's focus on the direct engagement.
Could it be he's like moving a few people that are nearby out of the way so I can run quicker and more direct?
Does that seem like what you want?
That was what I was thinking.
Okay.
If that's direct enough to count as an aid for Avada.
So that'll take you spend the team from the team pool, bumps it up by 1. We get a 10 plus. It means that Avada gets to pick 2 choices from the directly engage a threat result. What would you like?
Okay. So I'm going to resist and I'm going to frighten.
Okay.
And I think what that looks like is Avada like throws out the drone, starts running between the people and like is ducking under one person, and then just sees a couple people get whipped away, like from her basically path to Troll, and just does a little like explosion under her, not like an explosion, but like makes little jets under her feet because she can, and punches Troll in the face and does like a little bit more fire in the face, maybe like burning his eyebrows.
That's perfect. You hit, and there's maybe even a little bit of sting. We see those burn, sort of the scorch marks around the eyes. Troll leaps back and bellows out in pain, and well, he is afraid, but he's also swinging that club around, and even more of the support pillars get shattered, and the whole thing is starting to come down. Troll is taken care of, but the situation is more chaotic on the ground. So tell me, Minotaur, what are you going to do?
I'm thinking that there may be like one of those giant chandeliers is about to come crashing down on some bar mitzvah goers.
Oh yeah,
and I think so I think Minotaur is going to like, I mean, if he's already coming down, then he would like sort of like use his body to shield them from the falling chandelier or debris or whatever.
That is perfect. So we go to a defend move, and essentially you're defending at least a good portion of the people who are in the ballroom. And you use Savior for that.
Yes, which is not my strong point.
Wait until after he rolls.
You should wait until after he rolls, and then you can assist.
Okay, let's see if this works or not. And I guess I'm using blue. So that was a 9.
Okay.
Yes, 9.
So it's a 9. So if our offering wants to help, offering can push that up to a 10 plus by spending a team from the team pool, but has to tell me how, as Minotaur is doing this, how is offering helping Minotaur do this protection?
Right. So I think what had happened was, as we were like running in, I had like formed kind of like 2 psychic batons to use as melee weapons, and sort of like kind of like a little bit like Daredevil Kane style, and like, but I see Minotaur is going to, as I'm running, so I see the attack that Avada and Whippet make on Troll, and I'm like rushing in to follow up, and then I see out of the corner of my eye Minotaur going to intercede to put himself in between the chandelier and the people that's falling on, and he's going to catch it and save them, but it's going to hit him. And so I sort of like throw these psychic construct batons, and they flatten out and merge to form a wall that catches the chandelier, and it shatters around him instead of on top of him.
Perfect.
Maybe like a wedge, not a wall, a wedge. So it can
that's great. So that means it gets you a 10 plus. So Minotaur, that means you absolutely, like, it shatters off from them. It protects the psychic constructs. Push this. You managed to get most of these bar mitzvah goers that hadn't fled, got into the center, protected them from this. They're freaking out, but they're also like, oh, it's Minotaur, oh my god, and so there's that going on as they're kind of fanning out. So but you keep them safe. You also get to choose a result. You can add another team to the pool. You can take an influence over somebody you protected, or you could clear a condition. If you had a condition marked, you could clear that.
That'd be funny to take an influence over some like like 13-year-old kid.
Yeah.
I think I'll just add a team to the pool.
That is always a good choice. Get you up. We go back up. So the situation is that the roof is still coming down in pieces. The big chandelier in the center has been broken off. Troll has kind of staggered back. Some of the people are still getting out, but the whole sort of physical situation is kind of problematic. So I want to, since you kind of aided last time, Whippet, let's come to you and see what you're doing, and then we'll kind of flip back to Avada.
Okay. I want to ask Offering if he could use his telekinesis to hold the room together. Just, would that be?
Yeah, I'll do the best I can.
Yeah, great. Because I know I won't be able to do anything for that directly.
Okay. Do you mention you're shouting it out, or are you doing it quietly over your comms?
Oh, I do it over the comm, sure.
Okay, yeah, a little business-like. Yeah, we got that. Business time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. And then if there's anything else going on, you said
Well,
most of the people
there's a supervillain. There's a room collapsing. There's people still here.
Yeah, other people still here. Since we know, presumably we know that Troll's here tracking some kind of some metahuman.
Yeah.
Can I use my helmet and scan to see if anyone's exhibiting any kind of metahuman auras?
That seems perfect. That is assess the situation.
Okay.
So with assess the situation, you will roll superior.
I like that. I'm calling up my dice now. And can I take the +1 forward for my captain ability?
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Cool. And okay, I got my dice here. Ooh, got a bunch of dice. But these over here at the bottom are the ones I'll be using.
Okay.
And I hope, I don't know, I always want a little bit from Roll for Your Party because Roll for Your website did a good number on me the last time. Yeah, especially the last time I played. So let's see if how it feels about me now. And rolling.
There's a die roller we have for Rollmaster that just absolutely destroyed me every week. So,
so I think I got a 9 total.
You got a 9 total. So that's going to give you one question off the situation.
Okay. Actually, I think I got a 10 because I forgot the +1 forward.
Oh, look
it's
at
superior,
that!
Right? Yeah.
You get 2 questions.
Oh, fantastic. The first question would be,
wait, I don't see the 9.
Oh,
I see the 7.
Yeah, I rolled a 7, and then my superior.
You have 2 superior. Okay.
Yep.
+2, and then I get a +1 forward because I'm captaining, I guess. So
yeah.
First of all, I'd like to know if any
who's here is the greatest danger is kind of your question because Troll.
Oh, that's right. So this comes with a pre-built list.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
So you will see that there definitely is a kid who is acting very differently than anyone else, and is moving towards everybody else is kind of rushing for the doors. They are kind of running behind the tables and running for the balcony. So that's the answer to your first question. What's your second question?
How can we best end this quickly?
You need to get Troll out of this room.
Ah, right.
That's the best thing right now. Does that seem like a fair answer?
Yes.
Okay, Avada.
Do you tell me to evacuate Troll? Because do you say any of that of what you learn, or is it?
What would you say there, Whippet?
First of all, I'll say, I think I may have eyes on the metahuman. One of the kids is running towards him, not away from. And I'd also say we need to get Troll out of here. I'm thinking I kind of have a plan. Since we've been trading long enough, I'm going to say, can we try to pull off a maneuver 12, which is where that's where we have a bad guy charge blindly somewhere, and then I use my whips to trip it. Because I want to see if we could chip in and get him out of this enclosed ballroom area. I don't know if that makes sense.
Oh,
So Avada, Whippet has said that we ought to do this plan. What's Avada's reaction to that?
Avada's plan is she looks at her camera, and says, "Fire in the troll." And she is going to try and unleash flame. I don't know if she's necessarily trying to hurt Troll, but she's going to be trying to like either make a corridor or some kind of like closing V on him to push him out of the building.
This seems like a big flashy thing you're doing.
Yeah,
for the camera, pushing this massive, 8-foot tall, blue-skinned supervillain. I think that you are unleashing your powers.
Yeah. So my freak is 1.
All right.
Oh, this is gonna be good. Okay. That's a 7. That's an 8.
So you do it.
It's unstable or temporary unless I mark a condition. I could, if somebody helped me, I could also make it selfish, but I'm kind of fine with. I'm gonna mark guilty.
Okay.
Because
look, Whippet just in the middle of this battle just told you to do this, and then whoosh, you didn't even listen.
Like, let's be honest, though, who would?
So Troll goes flying. Those windows, balcony windows, the doors shatter out. The pots there that are out there on that. And Troll hits that stone balcony and goes over, and you hear the as Troll hits the street down below. He can take it, but you have pushed him. You have changed the environment, shifted him out of there. So let's come back and see. Minotaur, you kind of protected people. More people have gotten out of the way. What do you want to do now?
I mean, there's no immediate danger right now to any of the other people in the room, right?
Looks like you and Offering sort of cleared people out, and since Troll has been removed, sort of the room is going to fall apart, but not like immediately.
Okay. I think I'm trying to find the metahuman that was going to the balcony, because also did Troll go also
went out that balcony? Yeah. He flew out, smashed through it. So you will see this little kid kind of comes to a stop and starts like running back the other way. So you can see them. Do you want to try and talk to them, grab them? What?
Yeah, I think I'm just going to try to position myself in front of the kid and be like, hey there, little fella, like, where are you going?
And you kind of rush over there, Minotaur, and this little kid goes and cocks back and punches you. And I need you to roll to take a powerful blow.
Oh my God.
Awesome. Okay.
You don't have any conditions marked, so you're just rolling with 0.
That kid knows not to talk to strangers.
I think I got an 8.
Okay. So on take a powerful blow, it's one of those rolls that you want low on. You can lash out verbally at a teammate, give ground, and your opposition gains an opportunity, or you mark 2 conditions.
Wow. And the conditions are, what are my options? Like, sorry.
So your conditions are afraid, angry, guilty, hopeless, and insecure. And you'll see those on the sheet, and they tell you which, angry, the effect of angry is that you take -2 to comfort or support someone or pierce the mask. And I'll get those details in there. I don't know why they're not.
Oh, whenever you mark it, they come up.
Oh, it does. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Clever. Someone automated this sheet, not me.
I think I'm going to take conditions.
Okay.
I just have to figure out which ones.
Sure.
Not afraid. I think I'm angry.
Yeah.
I'm not guilty. I'm
You
not
were just-
hopeless.
Punched in the face pretty hard by a little kid.
Little kid. But and I'm imagining probably punched you in the thigh, given the height. And probably just absolutely hurts like hell.
I don't know. I mean, does this kid have like some vertical? Like maybe he like just hopped up and
like hopped up? Yeah. Caught
Yeah.
you, cocked you in the jaw.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did he Shoryuken you?
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
So I think angry and insecure. Like, how did this little kid just?
And does
Yeah.
kind of this kid is clearly not entirely human, because does that jump up punch kind of continues the rise, kind of kicks off of your shoulders to jump past you.
Awesome.
And offering, what do you do when you see that happen?
Right. So I think my play is just to like run over there. And like I think you know I see that this kid is powerful. I see that there's and you see sort of I think what's happening is like, so there's like a wide shot at the end of that interaction with like Minotaur like knocked back and looking dazed, and me like and the kid on one side of the screen and me sort of on the far side.
Okay.
And there's like I think what happens, you see my eyes, my head sort of turn in my eyes, and I make eye contact with him, with the kid, and then I use my super speed. I just like make a beeline to him. I am there in less than a second.
Okay.
And I just stop and sort of like put myself on eye level with him. And I'm not like, I'm kind of tall and skinny, but like I'm also only 17. I'm also only 17 and maybe not quite fully grown. And so I sort of like lean over and like onto eye level with this kid who just punched my friend. And I'm like, it's all right, buddy. We're here to help. That's all I do. I just talk to him.
It's at that moment when you kind of look into his eyes and you see the irises and they've kind of changed, and you realize that this is not like a human kid. This is some kind of robot.
It's always robots.
And that's the point at which the robot, like you hear the jets kind of come off the back of it and it slams into you. And I need you to roll to take a powerful blow.
Fantastic. How do you? Well, which dice are not being used? Both of the ones on the left, the green and the blue.
Yeah, I think you can use either of those.
All right, so I'll take those green ones. And I don't have any conditions. 5.
Look at
That's
that.
a good thing.
Nice.
You also get to mark potential. You get to
Sweet.
mark an XP for that. So he goes to like knock you over, but just doesn't quite catch. And you kind of probably on the panel we see you kind of scooch back and the rug tear up as you're pushed back from that. Does that seem cool?
Yeah.
Let's come back to Whippet. Just saw Avada not do what you asked and blast Troll out of the room, and then you see these two tangling with this 11-year-old.
This kid's gonna learn today.
Now, where is Troll's outside of the building?
Troll is off the balcony and 4 floors down below on top of someone's Uber.
Oh. All right, so I'm going to go after Troll. I'll go after Troll, I think, and see if. Okay, I think I.
Gonna go to the balcony and kind of look down.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think what I might want to do is like almost if I could like use my whips as kind of like a almost I don't want to say bungee cord because I'm not trying to like.
But
just
no, but I like that. That seems cool to me. That
Okay.
seems perfectly super heroic. We see
just something.
leap
Yeah,
out.
basically, just want to lower myself down to the down down to trolls level quickly, but also
I imagine you catch your whip on that balcony, keep leaping over, and use it as a line as you come down to hit the ground. Troll is getting up, and he actually is rolling away and like moving away. Turns around, gives you a big trollish middle finger, and it looks like he is going to, like, big blue one. Looks like he's going to run for it. Like if this is not what he was sent to do. Deal with 4 superheroes.
Well, can I try to use my whip to kind of entangle his legs together to basically just to tie
Well, that would be engaging a threat because you are trying to stop him here. So let's have you roll danger.
Okay, I think my danger is a 0 if I remember correctly.
Yes.
I generated a 7 total.
Okay. So when you directly engage a threat, you roll danger. On a hit, you trade blows, and you get to pick 1 from the list.
Okay. I think. Can I take mobility away from the troll?
Yeah. That seems like
that kind of taking something.
Yeah, or kind of frightened. Yeah, I would say take their mobility away. However, you could do that. Wrap him up. He'll boom hit the ground. We'll mark a condition for him. Now he's angry. Like he was afraid. Now he's angry. And he does go to grab you and crush you. I need you to roll take a powerful blow.
Sure.
This is sort of the response move that he gets here, and you trading
got
blows.
Another 7.
Got another 7. Do you want to give ground, meaning let him go? Do you want to mark 2 conditions? Unfortunately, you don't have a teammate right by you right this sec.
You have comms, though.
Yeah.
What's that?
You have comms. You could easily yell at somebody over comms.
Yes. Well, if that's true. Can I just go ahead and do that? Just
tell me how you're going to provoke them, because we do a provoke if you do that, or
there's the other one.
Inflict a condition.
Oh, I see what's going on.
Yeah.
All right. I'll try to provoke Avada, since I know that. Since I could kind of piece together why she disobeyed my order, and say I'll just shout at her. I'll just shout at her to stop counting your Instagram hits and get down here and actually do your job.
Okay.
Oh.
I know.
Let's have you roll superior. +1 because you have influence over them.
Okay. Well, that's the roll 6. The superior is +2, and then the +1. That's a 9 total.
That's a 9. So, what do you want to do there, Avada? As you're kind of
what's he picking? Which one is he picking for the provoke?
So it's versus a PC. Choose one. If they do it, add team to a pool. If they don't do it, they mark a condition. Which one do you want? That is your pick, Whippet.
Oh, okay. I will ask that they do what I want, and then we'll add a team to the pool.
Okay, so
I don't want to face down the troll on my own. I'll get destroyed down here.
Avada.
So Avada looks at the camera and then looks at the balcony and then looks at the camera, and in the background sees her teammates fighting a kid and says, I can't get that bad publicity, and then runs off, like does a does the Assassin's Creed jump off of the balcony.
Superhero jump. Okay.
Yeah. like the Assassin's Creed jump, basically
The leap
dives
of faith.
straight down,
Yeah.
and what looks like she's going to land on Troll, but instead just starts unleashing fire, both to attack Troll and to like balance herself out like a reverse thruster.
Perfect.
Definitely like one hand, and I think the other is behind her stabilizing it, so she's doing the surfer kind of thing.
Okay. I think that's still directly engaging a threat.
Yeah, I think so. Okay.
Roll danger.
Let me check. Keep forgetting danger. Danger is 0. Oh boy, this better go poorly. Oh, well, that's a 10.
That's a 10.
That's a 10. Again, I think it's narrative that I resist or avoid their blows.
Okay.
And I'm gonna create an opportunity for Whippet.
And you kind of don't even need to, though you do, because when that flame blast hits Troll and kind of melts the asphalt around him, and he gets stuck in that and goes out. Just absolutely unconscious from that. The bubbling tar around him, stuck in the street. Some person getting out of their Uber, looking at the damage to their vehicle. Damn superheroes, they're shaking their fists at you. We cut upstairs to the next top of the next page, where we see right now Minotaur and the offering. You're both kind of standing there, probably looking at each other, and there's this robot kid. What do you two want to do?
I would like to. I think I'm like pissed off a little bit. Like here I am. I've like very clearly expressed my friendliness, and I got punched. It didn't do much, but I got punched, and so I'm just. I think what I do is I like quickly form up one of those clubs that I threw away before, and just like sort of like lash out at this kid's legs. Like just to sort of like do a little damage, immobilize him. Maybe we'll see, depending on how the roll goes.
Well, I think that we're getting to the end of the scene here, so I think you can knock him out. I just need to know how Minotaur contains this kid. It's knocked down by this psychotronic club, knocks him down on the ground. How do you contain robot child?
Oh no.
I think I'm basically gonna do like a belly flop right on top of him. So I'm just gonna like, run at him, leap into the air, and then just like come down right on top of him.
That seemed perfect.
Wait, can I just say something to the kid at the?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So I think as like Minotaur has him pinned, I like get down in his face and I just say, "We were just trying to help."
And the kid opens his mouth to clearly say something ominous, and we'll cut from there, and we'll take up at that scene or after, depending on where the writer puts the first page next time, the splash page, and we'll take up then. And we won't do end of session move this time. We will do at the end of next session. We went a little over. I appreciate all of you bearing with me for that, and the fact that I frickin' don't have my camera on. I've been gesticulating the whole time. Just imagine I've been gesturing wildly throughout this. Thank you, everybody. I'm super looking forward to next time. If anybody has any questions, or if when you go to look at your characters, you're like, I kind of want to change this around, we can do that between now and next time. And I will see everybody next week, okay?
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's been a ton of fun.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Good night.
Will.